Video released by a sea rescue group on Friday appears to show oil spreading from an aid ship in the Mediterranean Sea that organizers say was hit by an Israeli drone strike. According to Associated Press, German non-governmental group Sea-Watch said drones attacked the vessel, named the Conscience, carrying aid to Gaza on Friday in international waters off Malta. A fire broke out but was brought under control, Maltese authorities said. In a statement released Friday, Freedom Flotilla Coalition, which operates the Conscience ship, said the incident was a shameful act of war against international solidarity and all of us, and called for an urgent international investigation and for the EU and its states to condemn this very serious attack. A nearby tugboat responded to a distress call from the Conscience, which was carrying 12 crew members and 4 civilians, Malta's government said, adding that those aboard refused to leave the ship. The group was safe and no injuries were reported, it said. The statement from Sea-Watch also reported that the attack had caused what seemed like an oil spillage. The Freedom Flotilla Coalition accused Israel of attacking its ship. The group did not provide evidence for that claim or to show that the fire was caused by drones, but in a video it shared an explosion could be heard. Another video showed a fire blazing. The Israeli army did not respond to a request for comment. The European Union's executive branch reacted positively to the U.S. minerals deal with Ukraine on Friday. We do welcome the agreement that was struck yesterday, that it does take into consideration notably the accession process of Ukraine and the EU acquis, EU Commission spokesperson Paula Pinu said at a press conference in Brussels. According to Associated Press, questions about Turkey's censorship of journalists were also raised. After the arrest and conviction of a Swedish journalist in Turkey, the European Commission called upon Turkey to respect media freedom and freedom of expression. These principles must be respected by Turkey, which has committed to aligning with the EU acquis, the European standards and values, said Markus Lammert, another spokesperson for the European Commission. It is crucial that journalists are able to do their job free of any threat of violence, harassment or intimidation to ensure that citizens have access to all diverse and reliable information, he added.
We do welcome the agreement that was struck yesterday, that it does take into consideration notably the accession process of Ukraine and the EU acquis, which obviously is of key importance, and that is something which, of course, we had discussed with our Ukrainian counterparts, and we understand that this was also their concern to make sure that such an agreement would not stand on the way of possible future accession. So this is important also to be said.
Magnus with Euractiv. No worries. I thought it was timely.
I don't have a comment on the specific case. What I can say in general on arrests of journalists in Turkey is that we expect Turkey as a candidate country to respect media freedom and freedom of expression. These principles must be respected by Turkey, which has committed to aligning with the EU acquis, the European standards and values. It is crucial that journalists are able to do their job free of any threat of violence, harassment or intimidation to ensure that citizens have access to all diverse and reliable information. We call on Turkey to guarantee a safe, pluralistic and independent media environment, enabling journalists to operate without fear of reprisals, censorship or undue pressure. Disproportionate restrictions on freedom of expression, including on social media, are deeply concerning and should be avoided. The Commission will continue to closely monitor developments concerning the rule of law and fundamental rights and freedoms.
Other questions? To Markus? No. On different subjects. Yes, please.
Russian special services have received instructions to organize terrorist attacks in several Russian oblasts during the May 9th celebrations aimed at blaming Ukraine and mobilizing the population for war. Inform Napalm International Intelligence Community reported this, citing information obtained from intelligence agencies. Early reports indicate that high-level instructions were given within Russian security agencies to organize terrorist attacks in several Russian oblasts. Cities such as Khabarovsk and Ulan-Ude are being considered. Meanwhile, all forces are being involved in securing the parade in Moscow to ensure it takes place without incident, Inform Napalm reported. The goal is to accuse Ukraine of indiscriminate attacks on civilian crowds, to disrupt U.S. peace initiatives, and to use these pretexts to mobilize additional resources from Russian regions. At the same time, at first they allegedly considered plans for such actions in Moscow itself, but later decided that the situation could get out of control, so they want to try in the regions, away from the federal center, the statement said. Recall, Russia's President Vladimir Putin has declared a 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine on 8 to 10 May to mark World War II Victory Day, as U.S. President Donald Trump's administration decides whether a deal to end the war is within reach. The Kremlin said that the truce will start on May 8 and last through to the end of May 10, adding that Putin ordered the full cessation of hostilities on humanitarian grounds to mark the May 9 holiday celebrating the defeat of Nazi Germany. There was no immediate reaction from Ukraine, which has previously agreed to Trump's proposal of a full 30-day ceasefire. Russia believes that the Ukrainian side should follow this example, the Kremlin said in a statement.